Today I would like to discuss the pi bonding and molecular orbital theory. Myself Dr. Digna Varghese. Pi bonds. Pi bonds are covalent chemical bonds. A pi bond is a bond formed by the overlap of orbitals in a side-by-side fashion or laterally with the electron density concentrated above and below the plane of the nuclei of bonding atoms. The figure showing here the two p orbitals are forming a pi bond by a sidewise or overlapping, and the electron density concentrated above and below the plane of the nuclei of the bonding atoms. Each of these atomic orbitals has zero electron density at a shared nodal plane passing through the two bonded nuclei. Pi bonds can form in double and triple bonds but do not form in single bonds in most cases. Pi bonding and molecular orbital theory. In addition to forming sigma bonds, many ligands are capable of a pi bonding interaction with the metal. Metal and ligand orbitals participating in pi bonds will lie perpendicular to the internuclear axis. Consider four potential metal ligand pi interactions: d pi p pi interaction, d pi d pi interaction, d pi pi star interaction, and d pi sigma star interactions. Here in this table we can see the four potential metal ligand pi interactions. First one is p pi d pi types of interaction, that is donation of electrons from the filled p orbitals of ligand to empty d orbitals of the metal. In this case, filled p orbital of ligand to empty d orbital of the metal, that is p pi to d pi transition occurs or donation of electrons occurs, and for this, an example for the ligands for this type of interaction is alkoxide type, Rs minus, O2 minus, F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, Nr2 minus. And another type of interaction is d pi d pi interaction. In this donation of electrons from the filled d orbital of metal to the empty d orbital of ligand. Okay, and examples for this type of interaction is phosphine type ligands, arsine type ligands, Sr2 types ligands. Okay, and other type of interaction is d pi pi star interaction, that is donation of electrons from the filled d pi orbitals of metal to the empty pi antibonding orbitals of the ligand. Examples for this type of interaction shown by the ligand is carbonyl, RNC, pyridine, Cn minus, N2, NO2 minus, ethylene, etc. And the last interaction is donation of electrons from the filled d orbitals of the metal to empty antibonding sigma orbitals of the ligand. That can be shown by the ligands hydrogen,  'phosphine' type ligands again, 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 'ph and also the alkanes. These types of interactions are included. One of these types of interactions included in pi bonding in coordination compounds. So we have to remember these four potential type of interactions, that is p pi d pi interaction, d pi d pi interaction, d pi pi star interaction, d pi sigma star interaction in pi bonding. Either the ligand or the metal can function as the electron donor. From the table we can see that there is electron donation from metal to ligand or ligand to metal. So either the ligand or the metal can function as a electron donor. Filled metal d orbitals can donate electron density to an empty orbital of the ligand. If metal to ligand transition occur if there is a filled metal d orbitals, that can only donate electrons to the empty orbital on the ligand. An empty d orbital on the metal can receive electron density from a filled orbital of the ligand. There is two possibility. If the ligand can act as a electron donor, if it has a filled orbital. If metal acts as an electron donor, if it has a filled d orbital. Always electron transfer from filled orbital to empty orbital. And these are the four potential interactions in the case of pi bonding. That first one is d pi p pi interaction. In this case metal d orbitals are filled and the empty p orbitals of the ligand. And d pi type of interactions, filled metal d orbitals and empty d orbitals of the ligand. And in this d pi antibonding interactions, in this case metals and carbonyl type ligands, it can accept electron density from the metal. And d pi sigma bonding type of interactions, hydrogen as an example for ligand. In this electron transfer from the metal to sigma antibonding orbitals. This is the character table for the octahedral symmetry. And the characters and irreducible components of the reducible representation of top pi is giving T1g, T2g, T1u and T2u. These are the ligand group orbital symmetry which has to match with the metal orbital symmetry. Okay. The ligand group orbitals capable of pi interactions in an octahedral complex fall into four symmetry categories. That is T2g, T1u, T2u and T1g. That can be obtained from the irreducible representation for the octahedral character table. And for the pi bonding interactions, these are the symmetries, that is T2g, T1u, T2u and T1g for the ligand group orbitals. And in the case of metal, there is T2g orbitals, that is dxy, dxz and dyz. That is how metal have T2g symmetry that can overlap with the T2G ligand group orbitals. And metal has also T1U symmetry, that is from px, py and pz orbitals. That is also matching symmetry with the ligand group orbitals. But in the case of T2U and T1G, it acts as non-bonding orbitals because the T2U and T1G ligand group orbitals must remain non-bonding for the simple reason that there are no orbitals of matching symmetry on the metal. In metal, there is only T2G, T1U symmetry for matching the ligand group orbitals that can be capable of forming pi interactions in an octahedral complex. And there is two symmetry known as T2U and T1G that is not involved in bonding, pi bonding in octahedral complex. So it acts as non-bonding orbitals. The metal could use all these orbitals for pi bonds, that is T2G and T1U. Here we are giving some explanation. Classification of bonds in an octahedral complex. There is two types of bonds, sigma bonds and pi bonds. Sigma bonding octahedral complex that we have already studied in our previous class. Here we are dealing only with pi bonds. And sigma bond symmetry we know from the irreducible representation A1G, T1U and EG. In an octahedral complex there is 6 ligands. Therefore 18 p orbitals are participating in bonding, but 6 ligand orbitals used in sigma bonding. That means 6 p orbitals. Therefore 18 minus 6, there are 12 ligand group orbitals responsible for pi bonds. That ligand group orbitals have a symmetry of T2G, T1U, T2U and T1G. For the metal and the ligand to match the symmetries, there is T2G for ligand group orbitals and T2G for the metal orbitals will overlap, and also T1U of ligand group orbitals and T1U of the metal may overlap, but T2U and T1G remains non-bonding orbitals. There is no matchable or matching symmetry on the metal. So T2G and T1U could use the orbitals for pi bonding interactions. The members of the T1U set are directed towards the ligands, therefore participate in strong sigma bonds. From the sigma bonding in octahedral molecular complexes, from the molecular orbital diagram we can see the T1U set is directed towards the ligand and therefore participate in strong bonds, because we know the T1U is px, py, pz that can interact with the metal orbitals and forming strong sigma bonds. Formation of pi bonds using these orbitals. If formation of pi bonds using these orbitals would tend to weaken the sigma system and hence will not be favored. Okay, if we are using T1U set that already used for sigma bonding, that is used further for pi bonds, that would tend to weaken the sigma system and hence will not be favored. The T2G orbitals are directed between the ligands and which restricts them to a non-bonding status in a sigma-only system. In the case of Txy orbitals, here we are saying Txy orbitals of T2G system. In this, Txy orbitals are, the xy lobes are in between the xy axis. Therefore, there is no direct interaction with the ligand system. In the case of sigma bonding, therefore T2G set acts as non-bonding orbitals in the case of sigma bonding in octahedral complexes, but they can readily form pi bonds of ligand group orbitals of matching symmetry. Okay, these orbitals, that means dxy, dxz and gyz orbitals, which are non-bonding orbitals in the sigma bonding in octahedral complexes, that can readily form pi bond to ligand group orbitals of matching symmetry. Therefore, pi bonding in an octahedral complex is thus limited to the T2G symmetry. Okay, there is ligand group orbitals, the irreducible representation like this, T1U and T2G and T1G and T2U are the symmetries, but we know there is only two matching symmetries with the ligand, that is T1U and T2G, but T1U takes part in sigma bonding of sigma bonding in octahedral complexes. Therefore, if they are participating in pi bonds also, that will weaken the sigma bonds. So, it is not possible to take part in the pi bonding. So, there is only one symmetry, one matching symmetry with the ligand group orbitals to form pi bonds, that is T2G symmetry. In the case of hexafluoridocobaltate 3, in this complex, the T2G orbitals of the metal can interact with the T2G ligand group orbitals constructed from the fluorine 2p orbitals to form pi bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Since fluorine is more electronegative than cobalt, that we know fluorine has the maximum electronegativity value among all the elements in the periodic table, that has a value of 4. The fluorine 2p orbitals lie at a lower energy than the corresponding metal 3d orbitals. This is because of its high electronegativity value. The bonding pi molecular orbitals will resemble the fluorine orbitals more than the metal orbitals, and conversely, the pi star molecular orbitals will more closely with the metal orbitals. By the electronegativity value of the fluorine atom, the energy, lower energy, will more closer to the fluorine 2p orbitals. That means the bonding pi molecular orbitals will more resemble to the fluorine orbitals than the metal orbitals. So the metal orbitals resembles more to the pi star molecular orbitals, that is anti-bonding pi molecular orbitals. the molecular energy level diagram for the pi system, then we can draw like this. In this case, the metal T2G and EG orbitals for an octahedral splitting, and this is the delta O value, that is the crystal field splitting. If any ligand approaches to the system, the degenerate orbitals will lose its degeneracy and splitting occurs due to electron-electron repulsion, and there is a crystal field splitting. This energy is known as crystal field splitting energy, and it is represented by delta O value. And the T2G orbital takes part in pi bonding in octahedral complexes that have a matching symmetry with the T2G orbital of the ligand group orbitals. In this case, this is the metal orbitals and this is the ligand group orbitals, and both they have matching symmetry, that is T2G symmetry, that overlap sidewise or laterally to form pi bonding molecular orbitals. And in this case, the fluorine is here the ligand in cobalt hexafluoride complex. Fluorine is the ligand, metal is CO3 plus ion. So fluorine 6 fluoride ion hexafluoride system in octahedral system, 6 fluorine ligands having the ligand group orbitals having the symmetry T2G that can overlap with the T2G symmetry of metal, here cobalt, and forming molecular orbitals, pi molecular orbitals. In this case, fluorine is most electronegative element, so the lower energy orbitals lie more closer towards the ligand group orbitals. So this pi bonding molecular orbital more resembles to the ligand group orbitals, and the anti-bonding pi star pi molecular orbitals will resemble more to the metal orbitals. This is the energy level diagram. Pi bonding molecular orbital and pi star anti-bonding molecular orbital, and Eg star is here the non-bonding molecular orbitals in pi system, pi bonding in octahedral complexes. This is the gap, actually the crystal field splitting in pi bonding, that is T2G star to Eg star. From this we can see the separation between the T2G and Eg level decreases after pi bonding. Okay. Since the 2p orbitals on the fluoride ligands are filled, these electrons will fill the resultant molecular T2G pi orbital. The electrons from the 3d orbitals of the cobalt are therefore in pi antibonding orbital at a higher energy. So since the level Eg star orbitals is unaffected by pi interaction, delta O is reduced as a result of pi bonding. This is the source of the position of fluoride at the weak field extreme in the spectrochemical series. We know in one of the limitations in crystal field theory, which cannot determine the exact position of the ligand, as fluoride ion is a negative ion we are expecting at the top of the spectrochemical series, but it is not like so. This is actual explanation for the why the position of fluoride at the weak field extreme in the spectrochemical series. This explains clearly by molecular orbital theory. Okay, in this case the fluoride ligands are filled, therefore the electrons will fill the lower energy and the electrons in the metal orbital will go to the higher energy T2g star orbital, and the Eg star remains unaffected in pi bonding. Therefore the value reduced after pi bonding as a result of pi bonding, and that is why the position of fluoride ion at the weak field extreme in the spectrochemical series. The weaker the field of hydroxyl ion as compared to water is due to the OH- ion being a better pi donor, okay, like fluoride ion. So it shows a weaker field when compared to water. The oxyanions of transition metals in high oxidation states such as chromate, manganate, ferrate probably contain appreciable pi bonding between the metal and oxygen O2- ligands. Ligands such as PR3 type may also participate in pi bonding. In these molecules, the ligating atom can sigma bond to the metal through an approximately sp3 hybrid orbital. Phosphorus has empty 3d and sigma star orbitals lying low enough in energy that they can receive electron density from the metal. The ligand orbitals have fairly low electronegativities, and so the T2g LGO ligand group orbitals from the T2g symmetry formed from them will lie at a higher energy than the corresponding metal T2g orbitals. Here we are dealing with the low electronegativity ligands. Okay, in that particular ligands the T2g level is placed higher than the T2g orbitals of the metal. So just reverse in the case of fluoride ligand. The T2g orbitals of the complex is lowered and the T2g star is raised in a manner almost identical to that of the above case. The ligand T2g orbitals are empty. Allows the T2g star orbitals to rise with no cost of energy while the bonding orbitals are stabilized. Here we are dealing with the low electronegativity ligands like carbon monoxide, trialkyl phosphines or SR2 type ligands, and in this case the T2g level T2g of the metal orbital is very much closer to the T2g or pi bonding molecular orbital, and in the case of ligand group orbitals, T2g is higher when compared to the metal orbitals. Therefore, the pi star, the T2g star level is raised in higher energy with no cost of energy while the bonding orbitals are stabilized. In this case, the pi actually in an octahedral crystal field splitting of metal ion, delta value is this much, but it is the gap is increased, delta value is increased by the effect of pi bonding. Therefore, it forms low spin complexes. In the case of fluoride ion, there can be form high spin complexes because this value is reduced due to pi bonding. Pi bonding of this type thus stabilize a complex by increasing the bond energy. The resulting T2g pi orbital is delocalized over both metal and ligand. Electron density is thus removed from the metal as a result of pi bonding. If there is more electron density that the pi system can transfer from the metal to the ligand, the more the metal is able to accept via the sigma system. We know in the case of carbon monoxide, cyanide, that is at the top end of the spectrochemical series, they can form pi back bonding. That means electron rich system in this type of complexes. So the ligand donate electrons to the metal. Ligands donate electrons to the metal. Metal atom has or ion is already electron rich, so it can be undergo destabilization. So the metal has a tendency to donate back electrons to the ligand. Okay, that is actually known as pi back bonding or synergistic effect. In turn, the more electron density of the sigma system removes from the ligand, the more readily the ligand can accept electron density through the pi system. The strong field ligand end of the spectrochemical series include nitrite ion, cyanide ion, carbon monoxide, phosphides and phosphines can act as pi acceptor ligands. So these ligands can act as pi acceptors. That means once they donate electrons to metal, metal is already electron rich, so for the stability of the ion, it donate back the electrons to the ligand. So the ligand act as pi accepting or electron acceptors through the pi system. So these types of ligands are known as pi acceptors, which increases the value of delta O that we are already seen in from the molecular orbital diagram of carbon monoxide, pi bonding interaction. The bonding T2G level, that is from the metal and ligand group orbitals T2G is here, and the bonding T2G level by the formation of pi bonding molecular orbital, that is lowered from the metal orbital. So the quantity of delta O quantity is increased due to this. So the molecular orbital diagram including pi interactions, the delta O value is higher, so it always show low spin complexes. Here we can see the molecular orbital diagram of hexacarbonyl metal complex system. Both the sigma and pi interactions are included. This is sigma type bonding. In this case this is the sigma bonding, but this is actually the pi bonding. This is actually pi bonding interaction, and in this is pi bonding interaction, this is sigma bonding interactions. The increase in delta O caused by pi bonding is substantial enough in many cases that the absorption maximum for the T2G to EG star electronic transition is blue shifted out of the visible region into the ultraviolet region of the electromagnetic spectrum. Therefore, the complexes are colorless. This is the case for the metal carbonates. In the case of metal carbonates, the delta O value is higher, so the complexes will be low spin, and due to the pi bonding, the absorption maximum for T2G to EG star electronic transition is blue shifted. Therefore, it is from the visible region into the ultraviolet region of the electromagnetic spectrum, so that the complex are colorless. Halide ions such as Cl-, Br- and I- present in a different situation. Like the fluoride ion, they have filled p orbitals. Their empty d orbitals may participate in pi bonding. In the case of chloride, bromide and iodide ion, they have filled p orbitals and their empty d orbitals may participate in pi bonding. It is difficult to predict which set of T2G LGOs for these ions will interact more strongly with the T2G orbitals of the metal. Empirically, we observe that all of the halide ions lie at the weak end of the spectrochemical series, indicating that the p orbital interaction is more important than that of the d orbitals. Phosphenes, instead of using empty pure d orbitals as pi acceptors, may accept pi donation into low-lying sigma star orbitals or into hybrids involving sigma star and 3d orbitals. In addition, the coordination of dihydrogen is thought to involve sigma electron donation to the metal into the H2 6 sigma star orbitals. In the case of carbonyl complexes, there is T2G2 Eg star absorption is maximum and it is blue shifted into ultraviolet region, that is the complexes are become colorless. In the case of chloride, bromide and iodide anions, they have filled p orbitals and their empty d orbitals may participate in pi bonding. Okay. And in the case of these halide ions, they are lie at the weak end of the spectrochemical series, indicating that the p orbital interaction is more important than the t orbitals. And the case of phosphines and phosphine type ligands, they may accept pi donation into low-lying sigma star orbitals or the hybrids involving sigma star and 3d orbitals. In the case of dihydrogen complexes, the coordination involves sigma electron donation to the metal into the H2 sigma star orbitals. In this case, the figure showing the metal ligand with the pi donor ligands and pi acceptor ligands. In the case of pi donor ligands, the gap between the T2G star to Eg star is smaller. That means delta value is smaller and it forms high spin complexes. But in the case of pi acceptor ligands, the gap between the T2G star and Eg star level is delta O is higher. So this is greater. So it is always forms low spin complexes. The experimental evidence for pi bonding: stability of metal carbonyl complexes depends on the ability of carbon monoxide to accept electron density into its pi star orbitals. Although carbonyl ligand is a weak base, it has a significant electron-rich metals. For example, it reacts with metallic nickel at modest temperatures to form gaseous nickel tetracarbonyl. CO acts as a sigma donor, that means CO donates electrons to the metal, and also acts as a pi acceptor. From metal to CO, the electron can accept from metal to this antibonding pi orbitals, with the two interactions synergistically enhancing each other to yield a strong bond. Metal plus carbon monoxide act as ligand, forming metal carbonyl complex. In this, carbon monoxide donates electrons to metal and metal get a negative charge, and after that metal back donates electrons to the ligand and forming metal double bond carbon double bond oxygen. It would seem from this analysis, that is from crystallographic analysis, that one could merely compare the CO bond distance in carbonyl is 112.8 picometer with that in a carbonyl complex, and if the latter is found to be longer, 115 picometer. This could be taken as the evidence for pi bonding. In normal carbon monoxide, it's about 112.8 picometer between carbon and oxygen, but in carbonyl complex it is about 115 picometer. That means the carbon oxygen bond is lengthened and metal carbon bond is shortened due to pi bonding. That gives an important evidence for pi bonding. For example, the methyl derivative of a rhenium carbonyl complex, that is ReCH3CO5, the calculated single bond length of ReCO is 224 picometer but experimentally determined bond length is 200 picometer. Further, the crystallographic evidence for metal carbonyl pi bonding is found in phosphine and phosphide derivatives of hexacarbonyl chromium. This is the compound hexacarbonyl chromium. Phosphine and phosphate derivatives of hexacarbonyl chromium. That is, one of the CO group is replaced by phosphine type ligand. Substitution of PR3 for CO in CrCO6 creates a complex of C4V symmetry in which one CO group lies trans to the phosphorus ligand. One group is CO is lie trans to the phosphorus ligand. The two trans ligands will compete for the same pi orbital, but CO is a better pi acid or pi acceptor than the phosphide ligand. As a result, CO axial bond should be shorter relative to the CO equatorial and to CrCO in CrCO6. In general, the pi accepting ability of a phosphine increases as the electronegativities of the substituents increases. Pi accepting ability phosphine and bond length chromium phosphate ligand is greater than chromium phosphine ligands. The evidence for the pi bonding is obtained from the infrared spectroscopy. The most widely used experimental method for analyzing metal carbonyl complexes is infrared spectroscopy. The frequency of IR absorption associated with the CO stretching vibration is a measure of the resistance of the bond to displacement of atoms. Hence, the stretching frequency provides a qualitative measure of bond strength with stronger bonds in general, giving rise to IR absorptions at higher frequencies. In the isolated carbonyl ligand, the lone pair on carbon resides in the 3 sigma orbital, which is the HOMO for this molecule. Promotion of one of these electrons in gaseous CO to a pi star level to give 3 sigma 1 2 pi 1 excited state causes the CO stretching frequency to drop from 2143 to 1489 centimeter inverse. Therefore, the IR data for isoelectronic metal carbonyls, the CO bond strength decreases in the order MnCO6 plus greater than CrCO6 than VCO6 minus titanium CO6 2 minus NiCO4 COCO4 minus FeCO4 twice FeCO4 2 minus. The table given here is the infrared absorptions of some metal carbonyls. The metal carbonyl pi bonding increases, the CO becomes weaker. The greater the positive charge on the central metal atom, and less readily the metal can donate electron density into the pi star orbitals of carbon monoxide ligands to weaken the carbon-oxygen bond. In contrast, the carbonyl anions, the metal has a greater electron density to be dispersed, with the result of the metal carbon pi bonding is enhanced and the carbon oxygen bond is diminished in strength. The table shows the frequency, IR frequency value, and it is decreases from positive, then neutral, then negative complexes. positive complexes has high, the greater the positive charge on the central metal, and the metal can donate electron density into the pi star orbitals of the carbonyl ligand to weaken the carbon-oxygen bond. Shows higher frequency. In contrast, carbonylate anions, the metal ion has a greater electron density to be dispersed, with the result that metal carbon pi bonding is enhanced and the carbon oxygen bond strength is decreased. So this case the frequency also decreased. Other evidences for the pi bonding is from photoelectron spectroscopy. The photoelectron spectroscopy has been used to obtain metal carbon stretching frequencies. For carbonyl complexes, the full spectrum for CrCO6 is shown in figure. This gives the photoelectron spectrum of hexacarbonyl chromium complex, and the signal labeled as B1 corresponds to an ionization energy of an electron from a T2g orbital, which of course is of the orbital having appropriate symmetry to interact with the pi star orbital of carbon monoxide. If this interaction exists, removal of the electron should weaken the metal carbon bond and decreases its stretching frequency. The vibrational fine structure results because CrCO6 plus ions that form may be in a vibrational ground state or in one of the several vibrational excited states. The value of frequency for CrCO6 plus obtained from the fine structure is 325 cm inverse compared to 379 cm for the neutral molecule. So in this case the stretching frequency decreases, the reduction being consistent with involving the T2g electron in pi. Thank you.